Welcome to the All Faiths Seminary International's virtual open house. We have a wonderful agenda tonight, and I just want to talk a little bit about what we're doing and what we're offering, and hopefully it'll be an opportunity for you to explore and learn a little bit more about All Faiths Seminary International. So we're going to start with an opening invocation, and we're going to then give you a little insight, a little welcome into All Faiths Seminary International, a little background on what we're all about. You're going to hear about our leadership team, and then we're going to talk about our programs. This is really the heart of what we want to talk about tonight, because we're sure that that's what you're most interested in. At the end, you'll have an opportunity to ask questions, and along the way, feel free to put any questions or comments that you might have in chat. Next, I have the privilege of introducing Reverend Dr. Kathleen Regan, who is the Dean of our school. She graduated from our ministerial and master's programs in 2001, followed by our doctorate program in 2008. She was appointed the seminary registrar and dean in 2011 and has been serving in that role ever since. She brings a wealth of interfaith knowledge, insight, and experience to our organization. Reverend Kathleen, over to you.
Thank you, Reverend Bud. Good evening, everyone. I just want to start with an Om to bring everyone together. Om. 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 So our invocation. All Faiths Seminary International was founded by Rabbi Joseph Gelberman as a haven where people of all beliefs and backgrounds could joyously come together to share their bountiful and varied gifts of spirit. Our purpose is to provide a sacred space for people of all faiths, or no faith, and ages to learn, explore, and celebrate diverse religious and spiritual traditions. We gather for connection, inspiration, education, solace, and healing while fostering understanding, peace, love, and unity. And in the words of Gandhi, I offer you peace. I offer you love. I offer you friendship. I see your beauty. I hear your need. I feel your feelings. My wisdom flows from the highest source. I salute this source in you. Let us work together for unity and peace. And in the words of Rabbi Joseph Gelberman, never instead of, always in addition to. If you attend our seminary or you've attended our seminary, this will be etched in your heart. This is our motto, and it really will start going very deep inside your consciousness once you start exploring all the other faith traditions. Our interfaith motto was created by Rabbi Gelberman, our founder. This simple yet profound phrase is the very heartbeat of our institution. This motto is not just a tagline, it is our guiding light. It is the promise that your journey with us will be one of expansion, not replacement. It is the assurance that the wisdom you gain here will enrich, not erase, the spiritual identity you bring with you. As we explore our programs today, hold this principle in your heart as it informs everything we do. Welcome, everyone. I'm really happy that you're with us today and that you're joining us for this wonderful open house. My name is Reverend Dr. Kathleen Regan, and it is a privilege to be with you today. We recognize that each of you are here because you are on a journey, a spiritual journey, a path of seeking, of questioning, and of a deep desire to serve. You are looking for a place that can not only honor your unique path, but also equip you to make a meaningful difference in a world that is hungry for connection and understanding. A legacy of peace, a mission of unity. To understand All Faiths Seminary International, one must first understand the visionary who brought it into being. Rabbi Joseph Gelberman, who originally was born in Hungary, came here at the onset of World War II. He's the founder and he was a spiritual pioneer, a recognized modern master of the teachings of the Kabbalah. He held a PhD from Columbia University and dedicated his life to furthering understanding among the world's faiths. In 1981, he established the first interfaith seminary in the world, an act born from a profound understanding that our increasingly interconnected world required a new kind of ministry, one that could build bridges, not walls. Our mission, therefore, is a direct inheritance of Rabbi Gelberman's vision. It is, as stated on the slide, to foster respect and honor to the integrity of the individual and the individual's own spiritual search and path. We welcome students from all faiths and all spiritual traditions, including those who do not practice or follow a particular religious tradition. Our philosophy is built on a foundation that distinguishes us from more traditional seminaries. We will never ask you to abandon your root faith or spiritual tradition. Instead, we invite you to enrich it, to see it in a wider context, and to discover the golden threads that connect it to all the other paths. This philosophy is expressed through a set of core principles that are not dogma, but invitations to a way of being. We affirm the beauty and diversity, believing that unity does not require or even suggest uniformity. We affirm the essential goodness of every person as an expression of divinity. And we radically open, fostering respect for all paths leading to goodness. And here is our beautiful faculty. We are really blessed to be supported by this amazing faculty of teachers, spiritual leaders, mentors, and role models. They come from many different spiritual paths and professional backgrounds, providing a very rich range of insights and diversity to your experience as a student of All Faiths Seminary. And we also have an incredible board of directors. Our president, Rabbi Scott Matus, was unable to be with us tonight, but he wishes all of you all the best on your journey. We have a wonderful board of directors who guide us in vision, missions, and goals. making sure we are staying relevant and supporting every student and graduate on their chosen spiritual path. They each offer powerful insights from different paths and wisdom traditions, ensuring our curriculum is built from ancient truths that can guide us in modern times. Okay, and now our programs. Next, I would like to ask Reverend Dr. Bud James to take us through our online format and programs. Dr. Bud, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Kathleen. Our time-honored approach is delivered through a thoroughly modern hybrid learning model. We have monthly classes that meet on Zoom. They're streamed live, and they're also recorded for later viewing. That makes our programs accessible to our global student body, and we've had students dial in from all over the world. And each month, you'll be meeting multiple times with a mentor. So each student at every level is assigned a mentor to help them through the program. More about that in a minute. And you'll also meet online with your fellow classmates outside of class as you conduct research, share insights, and over again, our students tell us about the lifetime connections they've made with their classmates. So we've blended ancient wisdom and modern technology to make sure that your education is both profound as well as practical. We offer a very unique and very memorable way to close out the academic year, and this is why we call it a hybrid program. We have an in-person annual retreat, and among other activities, each ministerial student will share a sermon if they haven't already presented one during the year. They'll also participate in a group oral examination based on the year's study, which is actually a very fun event. And we'll also get to hear a brief speech on their term paper. If they're a graduate student, we're going to hear about their thesis or their dissertation. And the day after the retreat, you'll attend the graduation, and it's where we watch and participate as our ministers are ordained. This entire week, this entire experience is guaranteed to create a lifetime of warm, wonderful memories. I know it is for me, and I know it is for everyone who has gone through our program. We offer 3 traditional degree programs: an interfaith minister, a Master of Divinity, and a Doctor of Divinity. Additionally, during all 3 levels, you can focus on a specific emphasis. So you can work through each of these and focus on which one you are deeply interested in. Comparative religions is our baseline. It's our core. It's one that everyone will get a solid touchstone on, but you'll go deeper into all the different belief systems. If you want to focus on A Course in Miracles, you have that opportunity with some world-class scholars in that area. Our study in mysticism is a wonderful recognition that the scholars and the teachers and the mystics of all of these main and even offshoot belief systems all start saying the same thing about the experience of the divine. Or if you're interested, you can go into Judaic studies. And again, we walk you through all 3 levels with whatever emphasis you'd like to take with you. We also offer additional electives that you can take on different subjects throughout the year. So I'm going to walk you through each one of these different programs. The Interfaith Minister Program is the cornerstone of an AFSI education. It's an intensive 1-year journey, and it's really designed to provide you with both the knowledge and the practical skills that you need to serve as a modern interfaith minister. When you complete this program, as a graduate, you'll be ordained and you're qualified to register legally as clergy, earning the title of Reverend. You're going to engage in monthly online classes and complete reflective writing assignments, but you'll also step out into the world. The fieldwork component, which every layer has, requires that you visit at least 9 different places of worship and interview 4 spiritual leaders. We want you to start gaining real-world experience and build community relationships. Again, we're building bridges and we're taking down walls. You're going to learn the sacred arts of ministry by crafting and delivering a sermon. And you'll also learn how to help process and lead complete services for life's most important moments: weddings, funerals, baby naming. All these are so important, and they help us to connect with others and guide them on their own spiritual path. Throughout the program, that we ask that you incorporate a daily spiritual practice that you'll journey about, and we'll walk you through and talk to you about what a daily spiritual practice might look like. And you'll also have one of our amazing mentors to help you through the nuances of the program and keep you focused throughout the year. And you'll be meeting with them for a few hours every month. The entire year leads towards our capstone experience, our multi-day retreat at Ananda Ashram. And this is where our community comes together in person for a supportive, profound community building experience. I'd like to talk about each of the tracks just briefly. The comparative religions track is structured to guide you through different wisdom traditions each month: Judaism, Islam, Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, and more, including the primal religions like shamanism and Wicca. We often invite guest speakers who are deeply aligned practitioners of each of these faiths, ensuring that you get an authentic and modern, respectful learning of each wisdom tradition. And this track provides a comprehensive and balanced foundation, and it really does equip you to minister with wisdom, flexibility, and a genuine appreciation for the many paths to the divine. Our second track is for those who feel a deep calling to a specific modern spiritual path, A Course in Miracles. And it is designed for the seeker who wants to take the course and go deeper, to really understand and live its teachings, to explore the profound messages of forgiveness, love, and healing, which will become the very foundation of your ministry. And the curriculum is immersive. You're going to engage with the material on multiple levels, practicing the daily lessons from the workbook, studying the dense metaphysics of the text, and exploring the practical applications through key secondary texts. You'll also be looking at the core material needed to become an AFSI interfaith minister. So it all happens at the same time. And a unique and very invaluable feature of this track is the direct access you'll have to the wisdom of our very own Reverend Dr. John Mundy, who is the director of our ACIM program and a well-known author and teacher of the course. Our mysticism track is for the seeker who wants to have a direct, personal, and unmediated connection with the divine. It's really been designed for the student who's drawn to the words and the messages of the poets, the saints, and the sages who've journeyed into the heart of the spiritual experience and returned to share their wisdom. And it's uniquely structured around monthly themes that touch on the core of the mystical path. Each month we look at a different topic, like the beloved, oneness, the narrow gate, relinquishing the ego, and enlightenment, among others. And your study will be a deep dive into the understanding and the poetry of the world's great mystics. What makes this track exceptional, at least we feel, is its emphasis on mysticism as a living tradition. We offer a very unique and exclusive Seeker's Compass webinar series where you'll have firsthand access to the journeys of contemporary spiritual guides. You're going to engage in live interviews with modern mystics, learning not just from ancient texts, but from those who are walking the path today. And this focus on direct experience is a clear reflection of Rabbi Gelberman's own mystical orientation. He was a Kabbalah master after all, and that is one of the paths that we explore in the mysticism track. And it is central to our AFSI identity. Our fourth track, Judaic Studies, is for the seeker who's a traditionalist. This is for the student who is either rooted in the Jewish faith or deeply drawn to it and wishes to explore its actually profound depths while holding it in a larger interfaith perspective. And it's offered through a specialized division within our seminary, the Joseph H. Gelberman School of Judaic Studies. This is a very foundational year of study that can lead to our more in-depth 2-year master's program in Judaic Studies. And the curriculum is comprehensive. It covers the essential pillars of Jewish life and thought. Students engage in the study of the Tanakh, the Hebrew Bible, the Talmud, which is the core text of rabbinic Judaism, and the Tefillah, the art of Jewish prayer, and a vast sweep of Jewish history. The track is offered in a way that will allow you, by studying the works of seminal thinkers, to be prepared to not only understand Judaism, but to appreciate and integrate its timeless wisdom into a very diverse and yet modern spiritual life. Now, for those who have completed their ministerial training and feel called to a deeper level of study, we offer a very rigorous master's and a doctor's of divinity programs. And this is the next step for those who wish to become leaders, teachers, and innovators in the interfaith world. It's typically completed over a 2-year time frame, although we do offer a highly accelerated 1-year option if that's what you are interested in. An important feature of our graduate studies is our affiliation with Commonwealth Open University, which is an internationally respected and accredited distance learning university. And just like the tracks offered for our interfaith ministerial program, you can go deeper into your desired area of focus. So if you were on a Course in Miracles track or a Mysticism track as a minister, you can continue in the master's and the doctoral programs, your choice. When you're doing the master's work, the heart of it is the master's thesis. It's an opportunity for you to contribute original thought and research to the area of interfaith. And the focus is to showcase your mastery of the material, and you can bring forward your unique spiritual perspective. It's a significant academic undertaking, and it really prepares you for advanced scholarship or ministry. Direct and in-depth engagement with the primary sacred texts from diverse global traditions is central to our interfaith approach. You're going to gain a deep, respectful understanding of the various spiritual paths, and you're going to do so at a much more advanced level. And of course, as you've probably gathered by now, we believe in learning by doing. Our fieldwork requirements ensure that you gain real-world experience in interfaith ministry. We want to help you bridge theory with practical and prepare you for impactful service in the world. And of course, our ongoing daily spiritual practice is something that we've emphasized in the ministerial program, and we want you to continue to expand and go into that further. And of course, you will have a mentor assigned to you for individualized academic guidance, constructive feedback on your assignments, and profound support for your very personal spiritual journey. Again, depending on your chosen track, comparative, ACIM, Mysticism, Judaic, or you can also, at this point, talk to our dean and create a specialized track. So if you want to focus in a particular key area with approval, that's something that you can do. And at the end of the year, and with all the other students, you'll attend our annual retreat, present your thesis, and engage with other students and attend graduate level interactions. Now, just a little about our doctoral program. The dissertation is expected to be a significant scholarly contribution. It does showcase your expertise and your original thinking. And our program, just like all the others, emphasizes the integration of both theory and practice. You will engage in fieldwork, applying advanced ministerial skills in diverse settings. And we want you to reflect on these. We ask you to write about your experiences. And this is true across all of our programs. We're not interested in book reports. And that's a key to our next topic, which is AI. The PhD program, and we can also talk about it at the master's program if students are so interested. We will help you learn and leverage cutting-edge AI tools to analyze contemporary spiritual trends, to do research. You'll look at leaders and think and build prompts to actually engage and utilize AI for research. It's not a replacement. It isn't spiritual bypass. It's a tool. And we'll talk about that. And this innovative component prepares you for the future of spiritual scholarships because it's not going anywhere. It is getting only bigger in our world. So we'll step into it. Now, we ask you to continue your daily spiritual practice and examine, explore, and consider with all that you've learned, how might you add other practices? You'll learn so many different ways of how mystics throughout time have deepened their own experience of the divine, and we'll invite you to do the same. And of course, as with all of our other programs, you'll have a mentor who will be your cheerleader and your sounding board for all your spiritual work. And that's a very important concept because we want you to feel supported and guided through the program. As I mentioned, you can specialize in whatever area you are interested in. And at the retreat, you'll have the opportunity to present and discuss your dissertations with the class and cadre, engage with other students, and attend graduate level interactions. So there you go. Those are our big academic programs, but we still have one more because next up, our music director, Reverend Dr. Natalia de Resendez, will be sharing an exciting aspect of our seminary, our music program. Reverend Natalia, take it away.
Thank you, Rev Bud. Oh, it's just so exciting listening to you relay all of this stuff about all of these programs. I had just finished working on my doctorate this past year with Rev Bud, and it just brings to light, oh my God, all of what we've been through over these last couple of years, right, Rev Bud?
Absolutely.
So I'm really grateful for the work we share here at All Faiths Seminary International, where the language of spirit is spoken in so many ways. And there is one language that reaches beyond all boundaries. Guess what? Music. Our music program is one of AFSI's most unique treasures and the greatest gift of my septuagenarian life now. So over these last 5 years, Rev Bud and I have traveled month by month through the great tapestry of world faith traditions, seeking music that springs from the soul of each path in our curriculum. We explored Judaism and Sikhism and Christianity, Buddhism, Islam, Hinduism, Native American spirituality, and beyond, always seeking music that belongs to that tradition's heart. Through these shared musical experiences, we have empowered our future ministers to use music in worship, in community outreach, and in pastoral care. We've demonstrated music's healing power from the sanctuary to hospital rooms, from joy-filled celebrations to moments of deep grief. We've built a library of authentic sacred music across traditions, modeled interfaith respect by learning with and from cultures we study, and we created a living bridge between cultures, hearts, generations. This program is so much more than coursework. It's been a calling, Rev Bud. Oh, and why does that matter? Because in this world hungry for harmony, we equip ministers to step into the world with music as a universal language of love and healing and unity. And as our beloved founder, Rabbi Gelberman, reminded us with his famous 11th commandment, thou shalt have purpose. Here at AFSI, the music program invites you to open your heart, drop your obstacles, and let spirit sing through you so you can carry that vibration into the world. This is not just music, it's ministry, it's love in action, and it's waiting for you. Rev Bud, don't you think we should practice at least one song?
I think we'll have time for that a little bit later, if that's okay.
Okay, we'll wait till later. You know how we have this idea that it's important to practice, practice, practice. And so now I turn back to Reverend Kathleen, don't I? Reverend Kathleen, you're on.
Hi, everyone. So, some of you might have questions about finances. What do these programs cost? And the one person that you didn't hear about yet is our registrar in Bursa. Her name is Fran Cosentino. And you will, if you register at All Faiths Seminary, you will have to have a conversation with her. And she will work out a plan for you, a financial plan for you. So you don't have to pay the bill in one lump sum. However, if you choose to, that's fine too. But Fran will work out a plan for you. And she likes to use PayPal, and she sets it up so it's an automatic um, payment. And she spends a lot of time setting that up, and she'll tell you exactly what dates the money is coming out and so forth. Rev Bud, did you mention our services, our interfaith services, the New Light Temple services?
I didn't.
Our interfaith services are absolutely brilliant. They're wonderful, and they're created by our alumni. Reverend Bud is we could call him Dr. Zoom, or now I think Dr. AI, Zoom/AI. And he helps to organize the online interfaith services, but it's created and it's run by an advisory board. And that advisory board, it consists of our alumni and sometimes even our current students. It is required that students attend, and I think right now we're doing Wednesday evenings, but we're doing quarterly, so it's not every month. And if a student would like to participate, offer a prayer, or do a reading, that could be worked out with the advisory board. We also have one of our alumni started an online prayer format, and that's called Healing Prayers for Humanity, run by Imam Arif Hudzik. And I don't know if he's on with us tonight, but he began this, he had already developed, he was an alumni, he developed two other interfaith nonprofits. However, in addition, never instead of, during the pandemic, at the onset of the pandemic, Imam Arif made a pact with God that he would every Friday bring people together to pray for humanity. And he's kept his word, and I believe he's up to week 300, at least 300, maybe 301. And the prayer services are on Friday afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And he does welcome all of our students, our alumni, our faculty to participate. So if you would like to offer a prayer or a sermon, you could actually do your sermon. We can make those arrangements with Imam Arif. We can make the arrangements so you could actually do your sermon on Friday afternoon, and you will be in an audience of interfaith people. It's really wonderful. And it's a great experience for an interfaith minister to have that opportunity to be in an interfaith service, not only with our school, but outside of the school. Healing Prayers for Humanity comes out of Detroit, Michigan. And it's just an incredible experience when you're there. We have some time for questions and comments. John, do you want to share a few words first?
Well, I'm the director of the Course in Miracles program. Some of you may know the work I've done the past 50 years, actually, exactly 50 years this year. And that means attending a weekly class that I teach as a part of the program. It's not every week, but I'll do it like in 6 weeks, and then I'll take a couple weeks off and then do another 6 weeks or something like that. It goes throughout the period of time that you are here. And you work directly with me if you're in the Course in Miracles program. That's primarily it. Yeah. I also wrote the book that you're going to have in your mysticism class. What is mysticism? Huh.
Which students should contact you to purchase that book, correct?
Right. It's better for me than Amazon. I sell it to Amazon, so save a little bit of money, right? Yeah.
Okay, so if you do have a question, we're here. And if there are questions in the chat, Rev Bud, just let us know if there's any
There
questions.
is. We've got
Okay.
one question here that just came in.
Okay.
I'm very much drawn to the ACIM track. One of my concerns is the workbook. Last time I tried to complete the workbook, I made it to lesson 122. I really feel what you're saying here. And at that point, I felt like I needed to be in a full-time retreat context to go any further. I'm a mother. I run my own business, and it just became impossible to give myself to it fully. John, would you like to speak to that?
Well, you just do whatever you're already working on. If wherever you are, if you've already started doing the workbook lessons, you're just doing one a day. And sometimes it takes more than a day to go through one. So there's no hurry, there's no speed. You just begin where you are and keep going. And hopefully you'll keep going beyond this class until you've completed the workbook. And then once you've done that, I have to suggest that you start over because it's just going to take you deeper, deeper, deeper into understanding what the Course is telling you.
It also helps to talk to other people about the course when you
Oh,
join in a group and meet and bring questions, because sometimes we'll run into a thought or a concept in the course and you just can't wrap your head around it. And and this is true for all the belief systems, by the way. We're just talking about the course, but it's fundamentally the same.
Right.
There's core concepts that we find in each of the world's belief systems that can create either a catapult to understanding or a hurdle. And that's where it helps to have other people to help you understand it a little more fully.
But I see where somebody's asking more about the mysticism track.
Yeah, so the question is, who's the head of the mysticism track? Thank you, friend. Mentioned how the foundational track is the 1-year ministerial training is her recommendation because of specializing. It's like double the work. Well, I wouldn't say it's double the work in any of our programs, but the fact is that the heads of the mysticism track are here tonight. Myself, John, and Dr. Keith are the co-directors of the mysticism program. And we built it fundamentally because the seminary is a mystical path. It has been rooted in the understanding of what do the teachers of old have to say. And what we find is they start saying the same thing. It's amazing. You talk to a Sufi, you talk to a Zen Buddhist, you talk to a Course in Miracles student, you talk to a Kabbalist, and you talk about the divine, and you remove the traipsings. You forget about they eat food this way, they wear that color robe, whatever, on the physical, on the level of form. We look past that and we look to content. And what we see, what we hear, what we experience is them all talking about this ineffable experience of being in the divine. And that's the heart of the mysticism program.
Maybe Reverend Keith Lowenstein would also like to share a little bit about the mysticism trail.
No, the mysticism track is really wonderful. Everybody who has taken it so far has thoroughly enjoyed it. We do really emphasize practice, having whatever practice you have, going much deeper into it. But if you don't have one, really developing one and developing a relationship with that practice and how to maintain it and how to really nurture it and help it grow. And we really try to have you be thoroughly involved in what you're doing and really, really enjoy it and find the bliss and the joy in what you're doing and pursue. It's so rich and there's just so many directions you can go to. I mean, so, at all the levels. So at the entry level, at the master's level, at the doctorate level, there's just so much. So if you're interested, happy to talk more with you.
So I just want to add one more thing about the question that Bud read earlier. It is clearly not double the work. I just want to make that very, clarify that. There's one additional book for the first year program that I know of, and that's it. And you do need to attend the Seeker's Compass, which happens once a month. So that's the difference.
And people are asking about the dates. Our core ministerial classes are held on the second Saturday of the month, starting on September 13th this year. Our classes run from 10:30 Eastern to 4:30. All interfaith ministers from all tracks are requested to attend these classes. Now, as mentioned, for those in the mystical track, the Seeker's Compass program is about 2 hours and is on the third Sunday of every month during the school year. Optionally, of course, any other student can attend if they wish. Now, for the ACIM track, Dr. John's classes are held on Tuesday day or Thursday evening, or repeated. And he holds them for 6-week increments at various times throughout the school year. For the exact times of his program, you're going to want to go to his website, miraclesmagazine.org. All of the programs are recorded, so you can attend live and then watch them again later. That's what I always did in our program, and I got a lot more out of it that way. And our retreat will be held at Ananda Ashram in Monroe, New York, and start on Saturday, June 21st. The week culminates with your graduation and ordination the day after the retreat. So you'll want to plan your retreat week trip so that you get there the day before and leave the day after or perhaps later. So these are time commitments that you will want to consider. Now, there are requirements that are a little bit different for each of them. And if you're interested, I can send you a copy of the student manual, which has all the details of each of the programs. I would just ask that you have just put your email in chat and I'll send you a copy of the 2026 student manual. And it has a complete in-depth detail of all the requirements.
See that the entire interfaith, your new career is in that manual. You could really use it for all your services, and there's a lot of reference material in there. We have songs, prayers, And we welcome any prayer that you would like to contribute or a song you'd like to contribute. We have some pictures in there to, excite you as well.
Lots of links, lots
Yeah.
of resources.
I see another question in chat about that Fran told someone that it's about 4 hours a week of work. Well, I would say an hour a day is more like it. At least an hour a day. And that, of course, doesn't include going out into the field. Your field work will be really interesting, and we'll talk about that more the first day of class in September. The field work is probably one of the most important things you'll do as an interfaith minister, as a student, because you are really going out into the world planting seeds of understanding. You may walk into a place of worship or, call them for an appointment for a visit, and they may have never even heard of an interfaith minister. And you give them something to think about. You're visiting them, but they're also visiting you. It's a very interesting thing that begins to happen. And we recommend that you do this in your community. So you really get to know the people, the spiritual leaders in your own community, if you don't know them already. Many of you may already be on that path. And you may also belong to an interfaith organization in your town or city, which we highly recommend. I think Elisa had her hand up.
Yes.
Only, and you guys have already beautifully answered. It was just in response to the concern that the mysticism track was a lot more work. And I just messaged the individual back. But in general, I just graduated from that amazing program, and it's totally doable. And I work full time also. So it's completely doable and an extraordinary experience.
Can I
So,
just
Aja,
add to that? Oh, sorry. Can I just
go
add
ahead, Ann.
that I was a student, I guess what it was, 2022. And I am a single mother, 3 kids, and I work, and somehow I managed to get it all done. And the thing is, I think when it's a passion, it's like, yes, I'm not going to lie. I mean, there's hours, right? It's reading, it's going out, it's writing, it's thinking. But something about it is extremely energizing and motivating because you finally feel like you're doing these things which you actually really want to do. Because I read somebody's note in chat about having kind of done everything and they were hesitating because they weren't really sure they could manage the time. And, I just want to say, it's somehow you just find the time and it's so gratifying to finally be throwing yourself into something that you've wanted to do. So yes, it's a commitment, but it's a really good, energizing one. That's all.
And by the
Okay.
way, Reverend Ann is one of our mentors. Any other questions?
There's another one in chat here. I would love to ask about the mentors we would meet or speak with several times per month. Who are they? And I was just going to say several mentors are here tonight. So mentors, raise your hand. So there we go. And yep. And they're all based on the track that you sign up for. So, for instance, if you're on the Judaic track, you're going to be affiliated with someone who's deeply into Judaic beliefs and understandings, course, mysticism, a little broader, as is the comparative religions environment. But the idea is we want someone who has walked that path and can walk with you.
Right.
That's the point. And, you're not stuck with the person that you're assigned. If you find that it isn't working for whatever reason, you can talk to Kathleen and she'll help you find a different one. So we're very flexible in that way. And as far as where do you get the books for the ministerial program, if you're in the program, you'll find that we can get all of them at Amazon. John has the books that he's authored, and there's a couple of them in the program, and he'll sell them cheaper than Amazon. And it's your choice. I personally am a Kindle guy, so I like all my books electronic. Other people like them all very physical so they can touch and smell and feel them, and I get that. So that's up to you. And you will find that these books are a reference, that you will use them forever, and you'll go back and look at them again and again. And many of these books you probably already have. All the sacred texts are online, every one of them. So they're all available there as well. You don't have to buy any of them if you're willing to just be able to do your research and your reading online, as an example. The deadline for applications.
September 30th. Class is September 13th, but we would accept a late application. But just keep in mind, if you apply late, you do have to make up the time that you missed. So, we do record everything, of course, but that first class, we're going to go over the whole minister's manual. We'll talk about what interfaith is and go into a little more depth there. But you'll meet Rabbi Scott. He'll be on for the first class. And we'd like to include music from different traditions in our classes. And you'll get to meet Reverend Larry. He's our media manager. Larry and Tamar are a very, very important part of this program. Larry videotapes at the retreat. Tamar is his assistant, and he will videotape at the graduation. He also sends out an edited version of every class with incredible remarks, and he does a fantastic job, and he's an incredible researcher. If you mention something in class, in a day or two, Larry's got it in an email that he found it already. And, I remember, I think it was maybe the last class we had, I mentioned something. Now I can't even remember what it was, but it was something kind of obscure, and he researched and found it right away. So he's really wonderful that way. He and Tamar are also publishers. So they're in the book business. And Larry's done a lot of proofreading and editing, and they're just wonderful, wonderful people. We all of our faculty, our board of directors, our advisors, we're really wonderful people. That's all I could say. And over the years, we've really connected with each other. And often what happens is a student becomes a student and they don't want to leave. They want to stay on. Larry, did you want to say something?
I just
You're
mention that one of the things that I have in recording the classes are archives of previous classes. So if we touch on a particular religion from a perspective that it's only that particular teacher's perspective on a particular path, and we only have 10 months of the year, 10 classes. Maybe we have 2 teachers per class, because sometimes we have an afternoon speaker different from the morning. Sometimes it's a student or one of our regular faculty in the afternoon. But if you want to hear more about any given path, well, what about this in Judaism? What about that in Sikhism? What about some other form of approach to Islam or Sufism or something like that? Ask me and I can find a class from a previous year and send it out to you.
I just want to burst in and say at this point, Reverend Larry, you are very good at doing that.
He's excellent at doing that.
Doing that since 2011. So,
Well, here's a little history about Larry and Tamar. Larry came to class in 2010, and it was like a week after Rabbi Gelberman died. The classes were starting. And that year, we were having a lot of issues because Rabbi Gelberman died, and he at that point, because he was 98, we were having classes in his apartment, his penthouse on Central Park West, and we didn't have a place to go, so the cantor and the dean lived in Queens. They said, we use our living room, but we didn't have anyone to film it or tape it. So Dr. David Rothblatt spoke to Larry and convinced him to please take this job on. It was very important. This will be your first ministerial assignment. And Larry took it on very seriously. And he and Tamar helped so much that year. And Larry never left. Tamar never left. They've been with us every year.
In those days, we started with just audio, and we actually used to send out CDs in the mail, like the original Netflix.
I still have some.
And in fact, then when we switched to video, we did send out DVDs, especially of the retreat and the ordination programs
Right.
that we're doing. And at that point, I had a special machine that could fit more hours on a DVD than you can these days. So that was convenient. They don't make them like that anymore. But thankfully, we have everything online on YouTube now.
That was a lot of work, too.
We are unlisted, but whoever has the link can watch them, and we send the links. All our alumni, which I'll mention one other thing. If you've ever been a graduate or student of All Faiths Seminary or the new seminary, which was a prior seminary Rabbi Gelberman established before AFSI, and we have Reverend Victor Furman here with us, who graduated from the new seminary, and maybe a few others. They're welcome here, and they're welcome to sit in and attend any of our classes.
That's right.
And get any of the videos that they want. So it's kind of an umbrella that has both AFSI and the new seminary.
Actually, Reverend Paul went to the new seminary for his first year. Natalia did. I don't know who else is on. Dr. Victor, do you want to say something maybe about your program coming up?
Actually, if I may share something, for those of you who are coming on board, sometimes we do things that we don't understand why we're doing them. In my life, that was most of my life. But back in the 90s, I had a calling. I was doing Reiki healing. And in those days, if you wanted to go into a hospital and do laying on of hands, you either had to be ordained in a faith where laying on of hands was part of the sacrament, or a licensed massage therapist. And having a full-time career in industrial technology, I couldn't go to massage school for 2 years. But I found through synchronicity, wonderful synchronicity, about the new seminary and met Rabbi Gelberman. And I knew I was in the right place. I didn't know why, but I knew I was in the right place. And one of the first lessons, pardon me, one of the first lessons he taught us was the Hebrew word hineni. And the word hineni means, I am here. But he said it also means not only I am here, but I am ready. And when they would say, what, ready to do what? He would say, to do the good and the beautiful. And later on, with my beloved Reverend Dr. Lori Sue Brockway and I, in 9/11, I was out on a business trip, and when 9/11 took place, she went to the Red Cross, and I joined her when I got back that Friday, and we became chaplains for the Red Cross at the Family Assistance Center in Manhattan. Nothing we had ever contemplated, but we were called, and we were ready. And if I can share very quickly, I wrote a little poem about this when I was with Rabbi Gelberman back in those days. It's called Hineni, Here I Am. An ancient calling from the divine, from desert sands to holy shrine, answered clear, answered steady, here I am, and I am ready. Called to Abraham, a test of devotion. Called to Moses, set freedom in motion. Called to Isaiah, who can I send? Calls to us all, our world to mend. I heard the call to serve and heal, to do what's right, to do what's real. With full presence and spirit steady, here I am, and I am ready. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Victor. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's wonderful, Victor. Excellent. So, are you ready? I ask you. So, what Victor didn't add, and he spoke beautifully, that Rabbi Gelberman also had a song to further drive home the idea of Are You Ready? And he taught us that song. And we had to sing it every class. And then we had to sing it for graduation. Because he said, he really wanted us to think about what readiness means as a minister. You know, the phone could ring, and maybe you're not having a good day. You have family problems, or you just had your knee replaced, or you had your appendix out. And the phone rings, and someone would like you to perform a wedding for them next week. Can you do it? Are you ready? So you've got to act as if really quickly when that phone rings. Once your community, your town, your city, your friends find out you're a minister, you'd be very surprised at how many things you're going to be asked to do. Oh, the Chamber of Commerce is doing a breakfast next Sunday. We'd really like you to do an opening prayer for everyone.
An interfaith opening prayer. Yes.
Interfaith, right. People that are not in the ministry think that we have all the answers and we have everything in our toolbox, and that we can do a program or, deliver a sermon at the drop of a hat. They don't realize that it takes work. And, somebody will die in the community and they want you to do the funeral. Maybe you have other things planned, but you need to be ready. So these are some of the things that will teach you how to prepare for these things. Have your sermons ready. Have a book with wedding information, prayers and services, and for funerals. Have them already written down. That's part of the assignment, of course, but I recommend that, I have a binder for each of these things. And if I get called and I'm, in the middle of something else in my life, I have something to go to start. I have a library filled with wonderful books that I can go to help me along. And then, of course, you have the internet, and you have us. How many times have we gotten calls from students? They graduated last year, the year before, 5 years ago. I'm doing a wedding. I need help. Could you help me? Yeah, we'll help you. Yeah. So, are you ready?
Okay, that's my cue. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I am ready. I am ready for life. And Victor Furman, what was the question? And what are you ready to do with
Do
your
the
life?
good and the beautiful. To do the
To
good and the
beautiful. I am ready. I am ready. I am ready to do the good and the beautiful. I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. Now we have to teach the finger snapping, Reverend Kathleen. You know how Rabbi Gilbert was a champion finger snapper?
Yeah.
And lie, 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 I am ready for life. And so it is.
So finger snapping was actually part of the program. I don't know if Victor, it was in your class, but it was in mine. And I think John has a story about Rabbi Gelberman and finger snapping too. He was a great teacher, and he called himself a modern Hasid. He kept to his faith tradition very seriously, but he added a lot on. It was never instead of, always in addition to. Victor said a very interesting thing before when you said you weren't sure why you were doing this program when you met him, but you were attracted to it for some reason. What did you say? You were attracted to it?
What it was I wanted to go into hospital to do Reiki. And in those days, you couldn't do that without either being ordained or having some type of
Right.
massage license. And through a wonderful synchronicity, I'm not going to take up time, but through a wonderful synchronicity, I was introduced to Rabbi Gelberman. And the day I met him, he said, "What's your name?" I said, "Victor Furman." He says, "You're Furman. I've been waiting for you." And then after I left, the next person, "Well, what's your name?" "Robbins." "You're Robbins. I've been waiting for you." He was waiting for all of us. It was wonderful that the way he would greet us and bring us in that way. But the other thing that he taught us, in addition to the 11th commandment and all the wonderful sayings he had, was that he used the expression Hakol Beseda. Everything is unfolding in divine order. And that's been the story of my life since those days. It's been beautiful. And I'm grateful. I'm so grateful.
Hakol Beseda, yes. So those are two words that were very, very meaningful to me and Victor, and I'm sure others that went through the program. When I met Rabbi Gelberman, I thought, gee, I never met a rabbi like this. And he gave out his little, applications for his seminary. And I had that application on my desk for 3 years, and I didn't know why, but I was so drawn to it. I had no idea why I was doing this, but I had to do it. I knew I was in the right place. And I think Victor said that. When I was in that classroom in front of Rabbi Gelberman, I felt like I knew I was in the right place. I felt like I was home. There was something magical about that experience. You're doing God's work. There's not, you're not doing anything wrong. You're there for a reason. And it took a while before I realized that this is how God works. You got that calling. You have to listen sometimes, because if we don't listen, there are consequences. And when we do listen, the consequences are so beautiful. And that's why we're all here tonight.
Kathleen, can I say one thing real quick?
Sure.
I'm Reverend Steve, and I've had a recent situation where my brother was admitted to the ICU, and I had to go down and pray with my brother while he was in the ICU, and also had to have a prayer with my brother and his family when we took him off life support and let him transition. And the wife came up to me afterwards and asked me if I would do the celebration of life for my brother. Now, if you would have asked me a year ago, would I feel comfortable doing something along that lines and going through that experience, I will tell you that the seminary teaches you how to feel the divine within you. And the words will come and they will flow. You still have to prep yourself for major ceremonies and events, but when you have to say a heartfelt prayer, the seminary preps you for that. And you will always remember that. Thanks, Kathleen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I think with that, we will go ahead and close our event tonight. Thank you so much for attending. We have appreciated all of you. And again, if you've left your email, I will send you out information, and we hope to see you again sometime soon. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you all being here.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, everybody.
Blessings, everyone.
Blessings.
Blessings.